Hey, good evening everybody. My name is John. Welcome to another edition of Zoneone Brew Reviews. Tackle a couple questions here that I get quite frequently. Can you show us some of your beer cans? Yeah, I'll show you a few of them. I'm going to do some tonight. And question two is, what's your go-to beer? Because you've never really said what your go-to beer is. So you drink a lot of craft beer, you drink a lot of malt liquors and cream ales and adjuncts, but what is your go-to beer? Well, let me switch hats here, because I'm going to tell you what my go-to beer is. Miller Lite. That's my go-to beer. Tell you a little bit of history about Miller Lite. First come out, I believe, in 1972, but most people say, oh, it's the first light beer. It really wasn't the first light beer. The first light beer came out in the early 60s by Meister Brau. The first light beer come out, they spelt it L-I-G-H-T, Meister Brau Light. It's like a light fixture. And then when they run into financial problems, Miller bought them out, and a few years later renamed it Miller Lite, L-I-T-E. I've probably spent enough money on this beer. I've probably bought half the brewery by now, and paid a lot of people's salaries. But you know, that's what I like. I think it is a true Pilsner beer. I'm a light beer guy. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm anything other than that. I've drank my share of craft beers, and will continue to drink my share of craft beers. But you know, last year this beer sold $1.9 billion in sales. This is an award-winning beer at the Great American Beer Festival, winning gold medals four different years. I can sit here and tell you what Beer Advocate says or what Rate Beer says. That doesn't matter to me. I can sit here and tell you what it smells like, what it tastes like. It's not going to matter to nobody but me. I think it's an enjoyable beer. It's a nice beer when you've had a hard day at work to come home and sit on your back deck underneath your gazebo with a great big cigar and have a couple of these Miller Lights. Let me show you some cans. I'll show you. I've got a bunch of Miller Lite cans. I've got more, but I just kind of brung out a few. This here is the old one of the very first 12-ounce aluminum cans come out with. As you can see, it's an old. This one's a throwback to this one. You can kind of tell the difference in them. This is an original old aluminum can. Here's a 10-ounce can. Don't see those anymore. They do still make them in the little 8-ounce bottles. I call them funnel top bottles because that's kind of what they look like. But here's the one before it come out, before they changed back to the old, that one. But I got some other old cans here. I'll show you. It's kind of back during that day. Pabst Extra Light. I really don't know if this is still made or not. I seen it about 4 years ago in a gas station in an old country road off the backside of a Gallenberg, and I screwed up badly and didn't buy a 6-pack of it, and I wish I had. But here's one, Schlitz Light. This is a 10-ounce can. Don't believe that's made anymore. I guarantee they don't make it a 10-ounce can anymore. Here's one of the old original ones. This is back in the mid-70s, I believe 75. Falstaff 96. It's 96 calories. This is actually a graded can, so I put this one up. I put this one up with care, because that is graded a #1 can, which is worth quite a bit of money. An old Dixie Light tin can. This is also a graded can, graded #1. So I put that up with caution. I also got some old, Anheuser-Busch Natural Light 10-ounce can. They don't make them in 10-ounce cans anymore. I've got an old Anheuser-Busch 12-ounce can also. Got old Hillman's Lite. This was made right down the road. It's actually made in a few different places. Newport, Kentucky, which was down the road, just west of us here, or east of us. St. Paul, Minnesota. La Crosse, Wisconsin, right down the road east of us here, and Evansville, Indiana. Which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this is now what they call old style light. I may be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure my research is right. That's just a few of my old cans. You know, like I said, people throw up a lot of questions every once in a while, message me up, because I've never really said what my go-to beer is, but this is my go-to beer. This is my lawnmower beer, my daily drinking beer. You know, when I got a bunch of buddies over on a Saturday or Sunday watching races or just hanging out, we'll pound some of these beers. But we'll also drink quite a few craft beers. But you know, I mean, there's not much to say about this beer. I'm sure there's not a lot of people out there going to say they like this beer or they'll admit to drinking these beers. I mean, it's a solid beer. Number 4 selling beer last year. Like I said, $1.9 billion in sales. This is heavily advertised with a lot of sports, NASCAR, MMA type stuff. Just anything you can think of, this beer is also in it. As for the Anheuser-Busch, trying to buy them out, I don't know about that. I don't think it'll ever happen. I think they're going to try to monopolize on it. So, I mean, if I don't see Congress ever letting it pass, because that would put them at over 50% of all beer in the United States. Will it happen? I don't know. I hate to see it happen. But if it does, you know, it does. I mean, I don't think they're going to change the formulation of the beer. I mean, they can't. I prefer this over the Bud Light. If I was to go to my second beer of choice, it would probably be Miller High Life. I really like Miller High Life. I really enjoy High Life Light also. As probably a fourth backup, I would probably go with a Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's that old beer that's kind of sustained time. Made a comeback. About went under once. It's made a comeback, and now it's actually a beer that's you know, pretty widely appreciated by not only adjunct beer people but also craft beer people. But you know, I mean, I like this, and for you people to ask, this is my go-to beer. You know, I can remember Meisterbrau back in the day. I never did have any because it was kind of out. It was gone away before was ever legal drinking age. But you know, I mean, Miller Lite, my go-to beer. Let me know what your go-to beer is. I'm sure it's not a Miller Lite, but I mean, it's an enjoyable beer. That's really all I've got tonight. I just want to throw out, because you know, I get questions asked all the time. You know, can we see a few of your cans, or can you know what's your go-to beer? And I've never really responded to those questions. But I did tonight. Just kind of in one of them moods to, you know, just kind of ramble on. Light Beer and BS with old Big John. But hey, I appreciate everybody that watches my videos and subscribed. I appreciate all the comments. I get some pretty good comments, and I got a lot of people want me to try some different beers, and I've got those lined up. But hey, I'm gonna keep doing these beers, and as long as people, you know, keep giving me thumbs up, give me some, you know, nice comments. I appreciate it, guys. Like I said, I'm John Sharon. I'm here at the old Zone 1. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.